What's up, ADHD crew? I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate to the idea of watching a movie with good intentions and suddenly you're just like, what? What happened? What did he say? Watching movies with ADHD is just as hard as trying to maintain concentration on any other thing. It's kind of like reading a book. You start out thinking, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. That looks really entertaining. Thumbnail is cool. The description sounds awesome. Yeah, I think that's gonna be for me. And then about 5 minutes in, if that, you're already thinking about other things. This is what it's like. I remember doing this when I was a kid. I remember I'd be sat down in the living room with a bunch of friends. They'd be watching a movie and I'd be the only one who just couldn't keep still. I just couldn't stay focused because I would just lose interest like that. The fact is, unless a movie is something that I'm really excited about and it really engages me, 9 times out of 10 I'm not going to be able to stick with it. At least in one go. And it can be really frustrating, right? Because you genuinely want to do it. You genuinely want to get around to watching something that people are banging on about and you can't even get through it. So it's like you can't play catch up with people and friends that are talking about this apparently great film or series. And you just feel left out because you haven't been able to put in the time into watching it. Not that it really matters, but it can have an effect on your self-esteem. I think it's even worse in this day and age because we've got things like mobile phones, laptops, social media. It just all adds up and we just can't unplug, right? We can't dedicate to like one thing of watching a movie without like checking your phone every 2 minutes. I'm just notorious for it. The one thing that really bugs me about it is never getting satisfied. Say like if you have Netflix, you've got a bunch of stuff that looks really good, the thumbnail looks really catchy, and you think, yeah, that sounds really cool, I'm going to give that a try. And then 5-10 minutes in, you're like, it's not as good as it looks. This happens to me all the time. I'm always getting disappointed by the things that are available to watch. This is why I like horror movies, because I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. Except now I'm getting to the point where nothing scares me and I'm always searching for something scarier and scarier. If you want to have a real shot at getting better at this, you can improve it like any other skill. So to name a few things that I do that tend to work for me is, first of all, I try to set the atmosphere. I try to make a night of it by drawing the curtains, getting some popcorn, some drinks, getting really comfortable and relaxing so that I can concentrate better. I think a lot of it is to do with the atmosphere and how you feel in general, because if you've got too many things going on and you're not able to block things out, it's going to be too difficult for you to really stick with it. You're not going to take it seriously. So the whole idea is to try and get that feeling of hyperfocus by setting up the environment so that you're able to take it more seriously. It's more like an event that way. Another way of watching movies is slightly more expensive, but that's simply going to the cinema. I find the immersive experience of the cinema and the pitch black dark really helps you to just focus on the film, right? Because you've got a massive screen that you can't get away from. It's literally right there in front of your entire field of vision. Unless you're one of these fools that likes to scroll through your mobile phone in the cinema, don't be that guy. Another thing you might want to try is just simply taking breaks. Just chunking up the film into smaller parts like they would in the theatre. You'd have a break, or what they call an interlude. And if you just schedule that for yourself every now and again, it just makes it easier to get through it overall, right? Because you don't feel overwhelmed. You don't feel like forced to sit there and endure this like 2-hour film that's going on, because it could be pretty hard to sustain your focus unless it's really gripping. So you could set it up in advance on your mobile phone, just set an alarm for say every 15 minutes or half an hour, and then try your best to stick to it. And just remember, you want to try and limit anything that is going to be a temptation to you. So if you've got a mobile phone nearby, you really want to put it in the other room. It's going to make it a lot easier to not reach out and grab it and end up missing 5 minutes of a film. Before you realize it, you've just missed a really important part. For some people, they actually benefit from watching a film with others. And I think this is actually a really underrated way of doing it, because in my opinion, when you watch a film with other people, you've got this sort of added social peer pressure to stick with it, right? So I think it can help. If you're on your own, nobody's going to judge you if you get up every 5 minutes. But if you're with other people, you're kind of forced to do it, so it can help you to take it more seriously. But at the same time, I'd say one positive perhaps of having ADHD is that it kind of acts like a filter. So in a way, your brain is only going to allow you to get through things that are really high quality and very interesting. So it acts as a filter for things that aren't that good. if you think about it. And of course you can just challenge yourself to try and sit through an entire film, see how long you can last without getting up or looking at something else. So you could also try making a hobby of watching unique films like foreign films or art house films, just exploring different genres and perhaps just trying to find a director that you really enjoy and becoming a fan and dedicating yourself to watching more of their movies. Overall it can be pretty frustrating, right? But it just boils down to how into it you are, how dedicated you are, and how well you set up your environment. So just give it a try and see if these tips help.